Hello, this is Minerva Isabagori, mathematician and engineer, and I'm recording a third video, I think it's third video, for the World Cup history, the statistics. And so I ended up being in the FIFA.com website, and I was showing the data they have for the games that were played for the World Cup. So I went through all of them and all the data for the World Cup, and I found a lot of the games. So I wonder why they didn't have all the games in there. So they go back into a certain year. So I came back to, I think I'm using Bing.com. That's a Microsoft tool, a search tool like Google search. And so here I find I don't have to search too much. It says that by 2022, there were 22 final tournaments played. So they have only played 22 times. What does that mean? They play every 4 years, I think. I don't know, since 1930. So then we can do the calculation of how many tournaments they should have played or how many World Cups or World Championships they should have played. So here I'm going to say this. Let's see. Let's see if I can find the difference between years. And so I'm going to put the start here was 2030. I'm on a 1030, not 1930, excuse me, to 2026. And so I'm gonna look here, and that's 96 years. So you can bring out your calculator or your spreadsheet. I like spreadsheets, or you can do it mentally. That is a thing. That is a thing you can do. I'm a lazy mathematician, maybe, or I like to make people do things the hard way. I don't know. I think people should learn. So I'm gonna go and click on a blank spreadsheet, and then you could put here 96, and then a 4, and then here I'm gonna put equals. I'm gonna put 96 divided by 4. And so there should have been 24 tournaments by 2022. And so we're in 2026. So this one should have been number 25th, probably. So those are my quick calculations. So I'm going to go with that. Here in the history, it says they've had only 22. So when I'm looking for data, I'm going to look for 22, and this is the 23rd. So what does that mean? I go over to FIFA. I did another search for FIFA, and these are the things they have for the FIFA World Cup tournaments. And so here I can see that they have for 1930, 34, 38, 50. So there's a skip here. I would think it's because of World War II. World War II happened in the 1940s. If I remember, I'm not very good at history. I'm a mathematician, so 1944, 45, or something like that. So I think that's what happened there. So that's probably 2 World Cups. And then you can see 1954, 58, 62, 66 is in England. Then in 70, it's in Mexico, 74 in Germany. And then it goes on again in Mexico, 1986. So 1970, 1986. And then I think there is no World Cup in Mexico again until 2026. So 1986 to 2026, that is about 40 years, I think. Anyway, that is interesting facts. So I go back to the data that I was looking at in the other video that I found, and then I scrolled all the way down and then clicked on show more, show more, show more, till I get to the bottom and they start having information in from 1938. There's no more data after that. So I don't know where I would find the 1930 and 1934 data. If there were 2 World Cups, I have to look up that information, and then I will know what are the games and stuff like that to look at the stats. So here in the spreadsheet, I can start my spreadsheet if I want to start a spreadsheet, which I do. And then I can go ahead and start writing in my spreadsheet. I'm going to just delete this information, and here I'm going to put that there was a 1930s World Cup, 1934, 1938, 1950, And then I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to see 1954, 1958, 1962, 1966, 1970, 1974, 1978. The year was born. They played. I'm gonna have to see where did they play in 1978 was the year I was born. My dad was playing for the Coca-Cola company at that time in Mexico. In soccer, for Mexico soccer teams, I guess in Coca-Cola soccer team. So 1982, 1970. I guess I wasn't paying attention and I stopped at 1958, even though I was typing. I'm in 1950, so I'm gonna go back. So I didn't catch it. Maybe you guys are catching to you're over there waving. No, Minerva, you didn't write anything, and I don't know why it's not writing. Let's see the number lock. I think what's going on is something I'm not gonna say. So anyway, 1958. Yeah, I think that's what's going on. 1958. So they do want me to say probably it is Google playing around with my Google spreadsheet. They probably want me to go and use Microsoft because I'm using Bing. Maybe they mind that. I don't know why they would mind that. So anyway, 1958. So you can follow me as I type because apparently they are doing this. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. 1958. That's a good way to lose business, especially if someone like me that's very popular and has a lot of and famous and has a lot of followers, then you do something like this and it is known that the company is doing something like this to make sure that my followers are not getting the information, then that's a good way to lose money in business. 1960, 19. So it wasn't my mistake. If it was my mistake, but now we saw that it was their mistake. 1970, 1974, 1978, 1982, 1986, 1990, 1994, I think it's 2000, that's 1998, 1998, 2002. My daughter's born in 2003. No, 2000, yes, 2003. Let's see, 2006. Hopefully I'm getting it right. 2010. My son is born in 2011. Let's see, 2014, 2018, 2022. That was in Qatar. And then now here in Northern America in 3 countries. 2026. Mexico, the United States, and Canada. So anyway, there's all the years, and I can go check. I'm already at 9 minutes. No way. So I'm gonna go check. Let me see, 1930, 1934, 1938, 1950, 1954, 1958. I made a mistake right here. So I'm gonna insert. So 1958, 1958. Okay, so I'm gonna correct it because they're doing the same thing again. So anyway, I got most of the years. If you're following and you're doing it yourself, then you do that. I guess if you're following or you just watch me do it. I don't know. Some people really like to watch people just type and type and type. Um, in spreadsheet, so that's why this is spreadsheet or sheet candy. Spreadsheet candy. Anyway, have a great day. This is Minerva Zibagori, mathematician and engineer. I'll talk to you later. Bye.